Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue straight on till morning. The Lost Boys. Wendy found the truffle-luffs in the clearing with Hangman's tree in the middle of it fairly easy. Were men ever actually hanged from the nooses that dangled from its branches? She had never given it much thought when telling stories to the boys. Her landing was far more graceful than the first time there. Also more prepared for the slide down this time. She managed to pick up some pixie dust at the bottom of the ramp to pop up back her feet, like in a jack-in-a-box, immediately and somewhat unbelievably. Luna had been lounging near the fire, left up joyfully, and snuffed her nose into Wendy's hand. Good girl, miss me? I had those extraordinary adventures. What's it like to get here? The Lost Boys, figures of her tales of swashbuckling adventures under their leader, Peter Pan, seemed to be having a rare quiet moment. The older ones, slightly Skipper and Cubby, were reclined in various supine positions on different furniture stand-ins, mushroom, ledges, roots. The twins were playing some sort of game like jacks, which involves swiping the other person's jacks. They looked almost demonic with their quick movements and shiny white teeth bared in grins that contrast starkly with their black masks. Toodles had what looked like a bright pink dormouse that he was petting and whispering baby nothings to. Wendy! He put the dormouse in his pocket and smashed onto her, wrapping into his arms around her legs, squeezing next Luna. Did you find Peter or his shadow? Slightly asked. Slightly. We found Peter, yes. Can I have this? Wendy asked, suddenly distracted by the honeycomb on the table mushroom. She couldn't remember last time she had eaten. I was saving it for, Cubby began. Thank you, Wendy said for the first time in her life, being a little rude. And why not? Everyone else in Neverland was. She couldn't be expected to civilize an entire island of barbarians. I'll just take a piece. She broke it in two and immediately shoved half it in her mouth, closing her eyes at the glorious gold and deliciousness. It tasted like summer and flowers and something exotic. When she opened her eyes, Slightly was regarding her with amused expressions. That's lovely, she added primly, not even bothering to look for a napkin. She wiped her mouth with the back of her hand, even without a bit of toast. Anyway, we found Peter. He's at Peg Leg Point with tea for a belt. Seems like a bit peaked. As for his shadow, Hook still has and is doing something unspeakable to it. Maybe using it to find Peter. Hook wants Peter in hand. Excuse me, Hook in hand, before he destroys Neverland so that Peter is forced to watch it or something, according to the first. Pretty over-the-top villainy here. Anyway, it's only a matter of time before the pirates reach him and Tinkerbell. Our job is to lure the pirates, grab the shadow, and return to Peter. The boys and girls all watched her. Maybe she should be the new leader, Skipper ventured. Slightly raised a fox's eyebrow. Do you mean to tell me you plan on using Peter as bait to catch old codfish? Yes, I'm going to grab one of these apricots here before we go. Maybe 3. She wished she had a bag to tuck them into instead of being forced to pop them all in her mouth at once. She was so hungry they were all good that there was a danger of the juice spilling from her lips and running down her cheeks. Which might not have caused much of a scene in the den of the Lost Boys, but she wanted to keep up some appearances. Did you talk to Peter? Skipper asked in a low voice. About me? Or me, Slightly added. Is there anything all right between us? Wendy almost choked. All of Neverland is in danger. Did you miss that part? I have left Peter tended by a tiny fairy while a pirate ship is coming after him. I've been nearly drowned by the mermaids, fought out the Sitholites, escaped the realm of the first, and flown all over this bloody island. Somehow, during all of that, I might have neglected to launch into an incentive against misogyny or a monograph about the necessary skills of a great leader. We don't have a lot of time here, is what I'm trying to say. Do you think you could get over your personal grievances and come to his and all of Neverland's aid? As the Lost Boys really going to sit around with everything is going to destroy it around them? Of course we'll help, Slightly said, pulling out of his rapier and brandishing it. That was never a question. We'll never abandon Peter if he was in trouble, Skipper mumbled as she put her hand on her scimitar, the other on her bow. Whatever our problems are. For Peter! The twins said together, drawing the little knives to hunt for their waist. And Neverland! Let me at those pirates, Cubby roared, pushing up his sleeves and baring his meaty fists. Toodles just narrowed his eyes and growled. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Wendy said. I'm going to fly ahead and see how you're doing. How long do you think it will take for you to get here? Forced march, one twin asked. Several hours, the other answered. Wendy began to open her mouth, feeling her panic grow. You could use the tunnels through the Senecraft cave, Skipper suggested quickly, seeing her look. Just what I was thinking, Slightly said with a frown. That lead me into the back of the cove, and maybe we could ask Elephant Wheels for help. Let's say 4 hours max. Depend on the cooperation of the various parties involved. All right. Well, I suppose it sounds feasible, Wendy said uncertainly. Elephant Wheels seemed interesting. The other, perhaps a little dangerous. She worried about Toodles. Pigleg Point by 3 cluster plans. If we're not there, it's because we're hiding in the jungle from the pirates who have already arrived. Aye, aye, madam, Slightly said with a bow, doffling his cap. You're doing this all in a dress, Skipper observes. Not much of one, really, Wendy said with a smile. To arms, men, mates, Slightly cried, raising up his rapier. To arms, they all shouted. The fox boy threw back his head and howled. The rest of the boys joined in, each in his or her own way, crowing, barking, screaming, roaring. Yes, we're all right, Wendy said. She gave Luna another good, solid scratching on her head. You make sure they find me. And remember where they are going. Luna barked once. Wendy wished the wolf could meet Nana. She felt somehow sure they would get along splendidly. That's the end of that chapter. See you later.